body of the bone. So when you compare these two bones, you might be asked to compare between lumbar vertebra and the thoracic vertebra. First, thoracic vertebra have very long neural spine. Which is the thoracic vertebra, as you can see. The one I'm holding now is the thoracic vertebra, and the distinguishing feature is that it has the longest neural spine. That's the longest spinous process. That's the hallmark. Then that's still the neural canal for the passage of spinal cord. That's the body or the centrum.
This is Her Majesty's Easy World Science Channel. So we'll be handling this set of specimens. So let's see them. First, take a look at that disclaimer. This document is compiled only for teaching and learning, not to be used to aid any form of examination or practice. So let's see the list of specimens. Specimen A is gill of fish. Specimen B, whole liver from a domestic fowl with gallbladder attached. Specimen C, lungs from a domestic fowl. Specimen D, whole gizzard from a domestic fowl. So what matters is that we're going to kill fowl and dismember fowl. So put it part by part. So this set of specimen is all about parts of domestic fowl. Okay. Specimen E says the whole intestine from a domestic fowl. Ginger, rhizome. Specimen F. G is onion bulb. Specimen H is leaf of bryophyllum and adventitious roots. Specimen J, cassava stem. Then K is still cassava tuber. So we have moved into cassava now. Thoracic vertebra. Specimen L, humerus bone. Specimen M. Then N, mango seed, dry mango seed. Then specimen P, femur. And not femur. Femur, which is the longest bone for human body, but in rabbit is not the longest bone. Tibia is the longest bone in rabbits, but in human body femur is the best. But they just say femur bone, so you can collect from any sample, but definitely not from human being, of course. Then specimen Q is lumbar vertebra. Specimen R is orange seed dry. First of all, as usual, you have to take a look at the specimen individually, then compare them. So as you can see there, I've compiled the likely majestic questions and the answers to the exam question based on the above specimen provided. So you have the answers on each specimen. As you go down, typed in a PDF file, you see, describe the structure of the fish gill and explain its function in respiration. So once you learn respiration in this particular set of specimen, you should also learn about digestion. You should also take a look at we have said gaseous exchange, digestion, respiration is there. Then vegetative propagation, of course, sexual and asexual reproduction in flowering plants, because we have seed there, and we also have perinating organs. So the other one says explain the functions of the gallbladder. Is attached. So even as you learn digestion, you learn the accessory structures. So Specimen C, the lung from a you say the questions there from a domestic fowl. Describe the structure of the avian lung and how it differs from mammalian lung is possible. You might see such a question. So the details, as you can see, so the details of the whole thing, man, I start from beginning. You see the list of specimens, you see those questions, their likely answers. There are many, of course. As you can see, the specimen onion bulb describes the structure of onion bulb and its function in plants. You know, it's a storage organ, of course, and it's also a perinating organ. You see bryophyllum, you need to know about vegetative propagation using the leaves. Okay, thoracic vertebra. Then we say questions focusing on the similarities and differences between given specimen. Questions that correlate the specimen. Say list the specimen that are used as organ for asexual reproduction in plants. You say specimen F, G, H, and J. That is ginger rhizome, onion bulb, leaf of bryophyllum, and cassava stem. Remember, cassava tuber is not actually used for vegetative propagation, but if it is yam tuber, yeah. So the other one say identify any three functions, any three specimen that serves the function of food storage in plants. That's the specimen F, G, H, J, and K. Identify all the specimen used in vegetative propagation. We said it all. Identify specimen adapted for sexual reproduction. That should be the seeds of mango and that of orange. So you can also learn about the germination, of course. Differentiate based on mode of reproduction between specimen H and R. H reproduces asexually, R reproduces sexually, of course. That is the bryophyllum and then the seed. If they compare it with even the rhizome and any other, the onion bulb, the same answer, then we see this, we comparing specimen A and specimen C. We move down, comparing specimen B and then specimen E. That's the liver from a domestic fowl and then the whole intestine from a domestic fowl. Comparing ginger rhizome and onion bulb, meaning when we say comparison, the differences, the similarities, some questions that links them together. Comparing specimen K, that's cassava tuber, and then onion bulb.
Let's compare this bone with another vertebra, which is the thoracic vertebra. As you can see, the one I'm holding now is the thoracic vertebra, and the distinguishing feature is that it have the longest neural spine. That's the longest spinous process. That's the hallmark. Then that's still the neural canal for the passage of spinal cord. That's the body or the centrum. Then that should be the transverse process. This should be the articular surface with the ribs, of course. So looking at the different views of it, the transverse processes is what I'm touching now. That's the neural canal or the neural foramen, and that's the centrum or the body of the bone. So when you compare these two bones, you might be asked to compare between lumbar vertebra and thoracic vertebra. First, thoracic vertebra have very long neural spine, while lumbar don't have long neural spine. Then you can also say that the lumbar vertebra have extra process known as metapophysis, while the thoracic vertebra don't have it. As you can see, the very long neural spine there in that of a lumbar is not very long, but in that of thoracic is very, very long. So the thoracic vertebra have the longest spinous process to compare to each size.
So all the specimens were paired up. Then if as I scroll down, you see the scientific names like domestic fowl itself should be Gallus gallus, some might say Gallus gallus domesticus. The Zingiber officinella, that should be the ginger, of course. Then allium cepa, as we all know, Bryophyllum pinnatum, Manihot esculentum for cassava, or you just say Manihot SPP. Then economic importance, adaptive characteristics of each specimen. So all these things are available in a PDF file. You chat me on the number you see there on the screen to get a copy of this PDF together with their answers, the likely questions. Remember, this is comprehensive and definitely will give you the needed assistance for any exam that involves this list of specimen. I repeat again that this document should not be used. This document is just compiled only for teaching and learning and should not be used to aid any form of examination or practice. So for the drawing, you watch my video here on the rules for biological drawing, and you saw the specimen I drew earlier. Not all the specimen will be drawn, but remember, you can secure yourself a very wonderful mark without being let's say, just, it's not biology drawing, is not artistic drawing. Like, you need to have a caption. It will give you mark title, straight lines of label, so you can even secure some marks when you know that you are not a good artist. So you watch my video here on the rules for biological drawing based on Waec specifications, of course. Then don't forget magnification. Just watch that video, it's highly detailed. And again, when the question in exam says based on observable features in a specimen provided, is included in that. Don't be abstract, meaning don't say what you think, rather you say what you are observing. Don't go saying what you have memorized before. But if they are not observable there, don't say them. And when adaptive features are asked, it means you just have to say presence of a part of that organism and say its function. What are the adaptive features of onion bulb? You can just say presence of adventitious roots for absorbing water and mineral. Remember, adventitious roots means just roots growing in a place that is not normal, where it's supposed not to grow. You know, bulb is still a different form of modified storage organ. So even the bryophyllum. So what I mean is, don't go in details of maybe you discuss the steps in photosynthesis of bryophyllum. We are not observing it there. Do you understand me? So think practically in exam. If you think practically, you get the answer you deserve. Don't just, I don't know, it's practical, that's what they call it. So your thinking should also be practical. It is not alternative, it is based on what you are seeing, of course. And remember that just watch that video where you see that magnification is the size of the drawing over size of the image, of course. Just like you see in your physics, it's still the same magnification, but here we are not using object distance and the image distance. We are using the size of what you drew and the size of the specimen. You don't need to go and waste time measuring all these specimen. So even when I give you space to draw a specimen, don't say they already know what they asked you. You have to write the caption, the title, even in that space. The question might say, draw a well-labeled diagram, 8 to 10 cm. You must obey the size of the diagram. So these rules will help you earn enough mark. So the PDF of all these things you have seen on the screen will help you very well. All of them, they are more detailed, of course. I wish you the best of luck. To save your time, you just chat me on WhatsApp and you get the PDF file of this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Hi, I wanted to tell you that you can contact Her Majesty for your laboratory equipment and reagents. They are affordable and provide accurate results too. Her Majesty's word only sells what he knows, and his patterns of delivery are sure and certain. Place your orders today. Thanks for your patronage.
Enhance the easy learning and teaching of chemistry in schools, in universities, secondary schools, in research institutes. So this majestic periodic table, demand and special demand, as you can see that space there highlighted, that is where you can include the name of your school, or if you are dedicating it to anybody, you can write there, because you can print it to any size you like. In a majestic size, the resolution will never be affected. So it took me about 3 months to design and provide these informations, but thank God the table is here. What made me to design this is that I discovered that these tables I see in the internet, the one I see in the market, they are not as informative as I want. And then some of them are not updated. Some still retain the fact that we have, there are like, some still see promentum has not been radioactive. Some might see them as artificial element, but it is still is a naturally occurring element, of course. So there are some modifications that this table has been made to include, and that makes it majestic.